Okay, so we are defining correlation and regression here. So first let us define a correlation. So correlation means the changes in one variable are associated or followed by the changes in the other variable is known as the correlation. For example, we can consider income and expenditure. See, if your income is high, expenditure is also high. So I can say that income and expenditure are the two variables which are correlated in a positive manner. Okay, positively correlated. And we can also consider rate of yield and cost of vegetables. If the rate of yield is high, cost of vegetables will become low.
Low.
I can say that these two variables are negatively correlated. And we can also say that the tossing of two coins simultaneously, it is uncorrelated, because the outcome of one experiment is doesn't depend upon the outcome of the other experiment, right? So this is uncorrelated relation. And this is about the correlation, and we will measure the degree of this relation in a correlation between the two variables by a single number, let it be r, and that number is known as what? Correlation coefficient.
Correlation coefficient.
Rule ಇದೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ the correlation coefficient value, okay, which is greater than or equal to -1, less than or equal to +1. The range of the correlation coefficient is from -1 to +1. So here we can say that if r is -1, I can say that uh, it is a perfect negative correlation. I can say that it is a perfect negative correlation. I can say that it is a perfect negative correlation, right? And if r is equal to +1, I can say that it is perfect positive correlation, right? And if r, the correlation coefficient, is 0, I can say that there is no linear correlation. I can say that there is no linear correlation. Now, to calculate the coefficient of correlation, we have a formula. So that is given by Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Coefficient of correlation. Right? ಇಲ್ಲಿ Karl ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, CKARL. Okay, Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. We have a formula for the coefficient of correlation is given by R, right? So that is equal to the summation, which is x minus x bar, okay, into y minus y bar. Okay, x and y are the two variables here, and here we have n into sigma x into sigma y. Right, this is the Pearson's coefficient of correlation, where I can substitute capital X equal to x minus x bar. So x bar is the point on the regression line. I will tell you what is x bar. And I can substitute y equals to capital Y equals to y minus y bar, right? And sigma x, that is equal to it is square root of the summation of x minus x bar square, right? X minus x bar square divided by n. So that is nothing but what? That's the square root of what is summation x minus x bar. What is that? It is capital X. So capital X square by n. And what is sigma y? It is the square root of summation y minus y bar square divided by n.
Yeah.
Right? That is equal to, so square root of, so summation, what is y minus y bar? Capital Y. So y square divided by n.
Yeah.
Right? So finally we can say that the coefficient of correlation is R is equal to what? Summation, what is x minus x bar? Capital X. What is y minus y bar? Capital
Y.
Y, capital Y divided by n into what is sigma x, which is the square root of summation x square divided by n. It is sigma y, it is the summation y square divided by n. We can cancel this, root n into root n is n. We can cancel this n, right? So what is r now? R is summation x into y divided by, so square root of summation x square and square root of summation y square.
Y square.
So this is the formula for the coefficient of correlation. Regression is an estimation of one independent variable in terms of the other. That means if you have two variables, namely x and y, okay, you are calculating the value of y in term of x,
Mm.
right? See, if you know the income and expenditure, you can write the income. You can calculate the income in terms of the expenditure. How can you calculate that? Income is equal to expenditure plus savings, right? So in that manner, we are writing this, right? So let us write the equation of the regression lines. Equation of regression lines. Right? So here the equation of regression lines is given by, uh, we can say that the straight line of the form y equals to ax plus b. Okay, so here x is the independent variable. I can say that this is the regression line of y of x. What is this? This is the regression line of, RL stands for regression line. Regression line of y on x,
On X.
right? So here we can write this as what? We can write this as uh, what? So y minus y bar. Okay, so
X.
that is equal to summation x into y divided
By
by
root
summation x square into x minus x bar. This is the formula. You should remember this. What is
mm,
this? This is the regression line of y on x,
yes, sir.
right? Okay. And we can also write the regression line of x on y. Okay, we can also write the regression line of x on y. What is that? It is x equal to ay plus b. What is this? This is the regression line of x
X
on
on
y.
Y.
I'm writing x in terms of y, right? Okay,
X,
so that is given by what? That is given by, in a similar manner,
X
x
minus X.
minus x bar, that is equal to
Summation of
summation x into y divided by
Y.
summation
Summation of Y square.
y square into y
Y
minus
minus
y
Y
bar.
bar.
That's it. In a similar manner, we can write this,
Mm.
right? Okay. Now, yes. So the here I can say that okay. So look at this. What is this? This is the regression coefficient. What is this?
Mm. Yes.
The entire thing is regression line of y on x. What is this? This is the regression coefficient. Regression coefficient of the regression line y on x. And what is this? What is that?
Regression
It is
coefficient.
also a regression coefficient. It is also a regression coefficient of what? Of the regression line x on y.
X on Y.
So we have two regression lines here. One is y on x and x on y. So in both the cases, This is the coefficient, right? So this coefficient will be what? The regression coefficients. Now we have two regression lines and two regression coefficients, right? If you calculate the geometric mean, that means the square root of, right, the square root of the regression coefficients, the square root of the regression coefficients of y on x, what is that? Right, summation xy divided by summation x square into regression coefficient of x on y. What is that? It is summation xy
Summation of
divided by summation x square.
is y square.
So if you calculate that, you will get what? You will get the coefficient of correlation. And one more thing is you have to remember here, what is x bar comma y bar? This is very important. This is what? This is what? It is a point on the regression line. Point on regression line. In this case, I can say that here capital X is what? Capital X is x minus x bar. Capital Y is y
Y is
minus
equal
y
to
bar.
y minus y
What
bar.
is x bar? Here the sum of values of x divided by number of values of
Yeah.
x. And what is y bar? It is here, it is sum of values of y divided by number of values of y. Got it? So you have two formula now. Okay, what is that? One formula is what? The regression coefficient can be calculated using this formula, the Pearson formula. Okay, what is that? The summation x into y divided by square root of summation x square into square root of summation y square.
Y
Y
square.
x is x minus x bar, y is y minus y bar. How can I calculate x bar? So sum of values of x
Summation
divided by
x y
number of
bar.
values of
Yeah.
x. How can I calculate y bar? Sum of values of y
Y.
divided by number of values of y. Right? And you can
Yes.
also calculate the regression coefficients in terms of the regression lines. How can I do that? So first write the one variable in terms of the other. So here x and y are the two variables. So you can write one variable in terms of the other. So y equals to ax plus b, and in that you will have one regression coefficient. This is the regression line of y on x, and this is the regression coefficient. And you can write x in terms of y. So that is x equal to a into y plus b. This is the regression line of x on y,
X on y.
and this is the regression coefficient, right? If
Yes.
you calculate the regression, if you calculate the geometric mean of these two regression coefficients, you will get what? The regression coefficient. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟನ್ನು ಟೂ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಒಂದು ಪಿಯರ್ಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಪಿಯರ್ಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗೆ ವೈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, ದ ಜಿಯೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು just calculate their geometric mean. That will give you the regression coefficient.
Equal